Alright lads, welcome back to the Inside Minecraft podcast. Like I said, I'm going to be taking it seriously again, and I'm going to be bringing the podcast back, and that's what we're doing right now. Hopefully, as long as I actually have the motivation to edit this, back-to-back weekly uploads. So, welcome, like I said, welcome back to the Inside Minecraft podcast. Today, we are moving away from Bedrock Edition, and as a whole, we're going to be moving away from Bedrock Edition. I am going to have a few creators on here and there. For example, I want to redo the one with Prime Strat, who is a Bedrock Edition creator. But alongside me moving away from Java, so is the podcast, give or take. And today, I'm jumping into the deep end, and we have a special guest, a very special guest, in fact, and it is the owner of, I'd like to say, the third largest Minecraft Java tournament. Maybe putting you on a bit of a pedestal here. Shalom!
Thank you. Hello, I'm Shalom. I'm a YouTuber, and obviously I own Minecraft Mayhem. I organize the event, I do things like helping out with teams, I code for it, I code most of it myself, I have a great team behind me, and yeah.
So with Minecraft Mayhem, the reason I say it's third largest, because I know there's MC Wipeout and there's all these other ones, but how I kind of rank it is MCC, Block Wars, and Minecraft Mayhem. They're different games, but they're similar vibes. So that's why I like to say Minecraft Mayhem is the third one. Obviously, there might be other tournaments that the viewers or yourself might think are better, but I think Minecraft Mayhem is definitely up there. I mean, especially with who you had in the last tournament. Fire Breath Man, Wolfie. Oh, they had quite the lineup.
I'm very proud of the progress, and it's very motivating for me and the team to like keep working hard on it. And yeah, I agree. Like for the most, I agree. Like I'm trying to keep it humble, but yeah, I agree.
Well, I mean, you're allowed to be humble. Yeah. Like for instance, I'm humble in saying that the podcast is obviously not one of the best podcasts, but I definitely think it's a great podcast. You're allowed to big yourself up. It's your tournament. You're the owner. You're allowed to do that. You know, as long as you're not, which you're not gonna do, and I know you've never done before. Well, to me, anyways. As long as you're not shitting on other like tournaments, etc., you're still allowed to be happy and proud about yours. And by me saying the third one, it could be joint third. It could be joint with 5 other tournaments in third, couldn't it? So you know.
Yeah.
How are you today, anyway, Shalom? Been busy?
I'm very good. I've just finished some work on Mayhem, actually, and I've been doing revision as well. I've had quite a big day. School's starting up again. I'm getting ready for the summer, because then I'm gonna work really hard on Mayhem, and I'm gonna like keep working on the momentum that I've already like built off of like what's been happening, especially with like I'd say the past 3 months have been Mayhem's biggest months, just trying to work off of that.
Well, as you can probably imagine, the title is going to be about you being the owner of Mayhem. We are going to dwell into a little bit about you and your like YouTube and stuff like that. We will talk a little bit about that, but I hope you're okay with this being mainly about Minecraft Mayhem and you owning Minecraft Mayhem, because it's basically about you being the owner of a tournament. Because I'm not saying you haven't got other stuff to you, but let's be real. If anyone talks about you, the main thing is that Minecraft Mayhem, right? You seem to have a great personality, etc., but your main selling point is I own Minecraft Mayhem. So
of course, yeah.
I guess before we get into talking about the tournament, then let's talk a little bit about you. Like I said, I don't know how long this is going to be, but I do have a few questions, Shalom. Right. So to kickstart it, and I like to ask people this when they come on the podcast, because I have you ever been on the podcast before? This isn't a question, I'm just asking. Never.
That's the one.
That's good then. So that means people might be curious as to some of the questions, because you've never said it before on a public podcast. So there's this. Right. So where did the name Shalom Anon come from? Like, what's the inspiration behind it?
Well, funny enough, this does tie back with Mayhem. So, like, very, very old Mayhem, 2.5 years ago or so, everyone would be like, or like, my staff team would be, haha, you're a Hypixel non named Shalom. What if I merge the two? You can tell this is very creative. What if I merge the two words together? Shalom Anon. So I'm a non, even though I'm not a non anymore, but I still keep it with me.
And that's your branding. Like I always tell people, my name came from a when I used to own a really crappy Rainbow Six Siege clan.
Did it? Oh.
Yes, and I kept it into Minecraft, and I've had this name for like 4.5 years, maybe 5 actually.
The Bolt in Bolt Shalom and G, you know, be a Shalom, but the Bolt in Bolt Shalom and G is actually a Minecraft clan I used to have.
And what about the NG? What's that for?
That just actually stands for my last name and then gaming, because I used to watch this YouTuber called Zach Scott Games, and it's just his name and games. I'm very creative, you can see.
Yeah. So your name becomes from being a non owning a Minecraft clan and your second name gaming.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, quite frankly.
All right, so with that out of the way, now we're getting into the big questions. So, how did you exactly get into this community? This is once again not talking about the not talking about the Minecraft Mayhem. That's going to be a whole different section. You'll know when we transition into that. How did you get into? Because obviously, you used to be I don't know if you were ever a Bedrock player. I know you made that Bedrock video, but were you ever a Bedrock player, or did you start off on Java, or how did that work?
I was a Bedrock main. I started. I've been playing Minecraft since 2015, maybe, or 14. Pocket Edition, of course, and then I moved to just Windows 10, and I'd play a lot of Hive and Lifeboat and CubeCraft Skywars. I remember a server called like Nether Games, I think.
Yeah,
And
Never
I
Games.
just really like the Bedrock scene. I know great people from it, like Patar HD. They're great people. I love everyone there, but I don't think Bedrock's really for me. I picked up Java and thought, oh, I like this a lot more. I started playing on Hypixel. I first obviously knew of servers like Hypixel and that kind of community, because back in like 2017, I'd watch YouTubers that inspire me, such as like Technoblade and Skeppy, and I got into Skywars because of that, and that's how I got into the PvP scene. And then I'd get into like the event scene from watching events that are like Skywars events or Bed Wars events, and then it would lead into Minecraft Monday.
So, did you join the Java community when it was 1.8 then?
I joined actually around 1.13.
But you played 1.8 first.
Yeah.
So why'd you move into 1. I know 1.13 is that kind of PvP, but I'm calling it 1.16 plus because that's what everyone refers to as. What made you kind of move into that area?
What made me move it from 1.8 into 1.16?
Yeah, I guess is that yeah. Well, okay. I don't know. Do you play 1.16 or do you play more 1.8? Because if it's dwelling on the tournament scene, we'll wait till later for that.
So I moved into the 1.16 scene, or like around there, because of events, and I just had friends that played that more, and I kind of just followed the trend. And I'm still not very good at it. I'm still trying to get good, but yeah.
All right, so we'll dwell a bit more on that in the future then, just because of the tournament thing. And I have a lot of questions about that. So we are that is going to be the main thing of the podcast, which I believe you understood anyways when I invited you on.
Yep.
So you used to be a fan of mine.
Yes.
So I'm going to call you out on two different fronts here.
Okay.
First one, favorite Hypixel YouTuber.
No. Okay, so I was talking to this with the Mayhem staff actually, but I got you confused with this YouTuber who was a Skywars YouTuber back in time called Acidic Blitz. Okay, you can see where I got confused. Probably
Not
maybe
really.
the double Z
No,
on
can't
the
see
end.
it. Nah.
Okay, I don't see it at all, but that happened, and then I tried to slip over it, but this guy called Kenzie's no. He's gonna keep bringing it up. And he's gonna try to shame me. No, why?
So if you got me confused with someone else, doesn't that mean you was a fan of Acidic Blitz and you weren't a fan of mine? You can be honest.
Well, what's quite ironic is that I know who you are. So I knew who you were. So I guess I am a fan of you because I do watch your videos.
You just don't know
when they
fully.
like popped up in like my recommended or subscriptions tab.
But you know other Bedrock, like you said, Patar. You mentioned about Potato Pie 25. So if you weren't really too much into Bedrock, because when you say you left, but you played Bedrock back in like 2015. So when you say about Potato Pie 25 Patar, myself, obviously Patar's like newest content. You left the community. You said give or take, you made Bedrock. You like played Bedrock back in 2015. But Potato Pie and myself, we only came around recently, and Potato doesn't really make general Minecraft Bedrock content anyways. He makes like a lot of Minecraft content. How exactly did you find out about him? Which is a weird question to ask, but it's because he's in my old community. I kind of want to know, and he's a good friend of mine. I guess I'm curious about on that front, because you said you're a fan of his as well. But then he's also, I guess, he's not small because he has a lot of subscribers, but you get what I mean. So how does that all work with like Bedrock? Do you know any other Bedrock content creators?
So in the Bedrock scene, I kind of just see it as one big circle, and so if I know these two people, I'm just going to naturally know or watch a couple videos from these other people. So I know, for example, who Dicey's is, and I know who Just Dash is. Great people, by the way.
Just Dash is more Java, but I know Dicey's, yeah.
Yeah, Dash was in the Bedrock scene for a good bit, but I think she's more Java now.
She
But
moved over, yeah.
but because of them, I know who people like Potato Pie is, or your boy Action. I still
Had your
like
boy
their
Action
videos.
on the podcast.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, yeah. Glad to see you did your
Okay,
research.
okay. No. I just do know. Okay. But I know Potato Pie. Potato Pie, for example, in particular, I know him because he makes. You already said this, but he does make more broad Minecraft in general videos, and he makes a lot of commentary videos. And
Yeah.
so he's kind of just branched out from there. And so for the most part, I know him because of that, really. But if it wasn't for that, I probably know him because of like the Treasure War videos.
Yeah, I guess his old content from like two because you made a high video about 2 years ago. I put it in the the Matchless Discord. Would you say you were still watching Bedrock content at that time?
Very much. That's probably when I was watching Bedrock content at the
So
most.
you'd know the
not-
old content and you'd know the the old Dicey's and Just Dash. That's why you mentioned them. Okay, I understand now. Got you. Yeah, so it's obviously a lot different. There's a lot more like creators in the Bedrock community who you wouldn't know of now because they're all new gen, essentially, or like weren't really there 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Because obviously I've moved away from Bedrock. I think I've moved over to when this podcast is coming out. It would be about 7 or 8 weeks. I've been playing Java for. Been on a big training arc for Minecraft Matchless, Minecraft Mayhem, which once again we'll get into because we're about to transition to anyways because we're done talking about you. But with like Java, I just find it better. I just enjoy it more than Bedrock because Bedrock. I guess the issue of Bedrock is also a skill based, but it's a very CPS based. I like 1.19 because CPS doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I don't have to like break my wrist just to get a kill anymore.
Yeah.
But okay.
So is that why like not really a fan of 1.8?
Yeah, I mean I play 1.8 occasionally, yeah, but once again it's just I don't know, 1.8 is not really too similar to Bedrock and anyways, it's fast paced PvP, but the way it works is just really different.
Fair enough.
And plus I just didn't see much potential going forward with Bedrock. Like there's a few of these Minecraft MCC remakes on Bedrock Edition. I think there's like 1 or 2 that I know of. And then there's obviously MCBC, which is a Minecraft tournament like Matchless, on like Mayhem. Sorry, I keep calling it Matchless because of the Discord. Just like Mayhem, which is like its own tournament itself, which is really good. But other than that, the amount of tournaments I've seen on Java Edition, like Bedrock, it just for a very long while I thought Bedrock was the future, but now Java's just clearing it really. So
the event scene's getting big, it's growing.
Exactly, and I guess that's perfect time to transition into talking about tournaments as a whole. And I guess linked in with this, we'll talk about Minecraft Mayhem. We're only 15 minutes into the podcast. It'll be a bit less for the viewers because I edit it down. Meaning I don't think this is going to be that long of a podcast, which isn't a problem. It's not bad at all. Yeah. As long as we get our points across and we get to talk about it, it's all good. So first things first, how long has Minecraft Mayhem been around for?
So Mayhem is actually in its birthday month right now, and so it is gonna.
Not right now. It'll be next month, won't it? Because the tournament's on the birthday.
Oh yeah. That's what I meant. So if we account for that, the event's 3 years old.
Okay, so let's talk about on the basis of when the next tournament is then. All of this we'll talk about based on the tournament. So the next tournament is on May 5th, if I'm correct. No, May 6th. May 6th. Because I'm in Ireland. Yeah. I'm going to be in Ireland when the tournament's taking part, so I'm not going to get to watch it or play in it, which I was saying on stream earlier, and I said on stream the other day. There's 3 tournaments going on that day, which I'm missing out on, and I could have played in all 3. Because if I missed out in Mayhem, I would have had a chance to play in 2 Bedrock tournaments. And I told him, I said, I'm allowed to be sad about missing out on the tournaments, but it doesn't mean that I'm annoyed. For instance, like I'd much rather go to Ireland and see my family, but I'm still allowed to be sad about missing out, if that makes sense.
I respect that.
But obviously, I'm going to Ireland. I'm seeing my nan. I'm seeing my family in Ireland. She's getting old, so I need to obviously go see her now. It's only for the weekend as well. That's the gutting part. That's why I'm missing out. But yeah. So with that, so assuming we're talking from May 6th now. Obviously, this podcast will be out before May 6th, but just pretend it's all on May 6th. So it's 3 years old. How did Minecraft Mayhem come to be? What was the inspiration behind it? Why do you want to do it? I guess just sum it all up. And if I have any questions based on that, I'll ask.
Okay, so the whole idea of what if I hosted an event came like quite not long after the end of Minecraft Monday. And I remember because I was already quite into the event scene and I was hoping it was going to grow further from there, which gladly it did. And I'm happy it did. And I'm glad it's like quite mainstream in the Minecraft community now. But I wanted an event that was better than Minecraft Monday. I wanted to see how far expectations for events could get, which, of course, old Mayhem, I obviously now know isn't what it could have been. But
What do you mean by that? Because bearing in mind, I've only been around for 8 weeks. Didn't know any of these tournaments existed. I didn't even know Block Wars existed. I only knew what MCC was. So you're gonna have to talk to me, because you are genuinely gonna have to talk to me, because I have no clue.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So obviously, right now, if you look at Mayhem, it's in a very comfortable spot. It looks very professional. All the buildings are top notch. All the code is top notch. It looks great. It's very professional.
Give or take. The Elytra race, I remember watching that. There's a few improvements to be made, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, ignoring that. Yeah, everything's top notch. Yeah.
But compared to, let's say, 3 years ago, it's nowhere near. And funny enough, even though it's like that, neither was Minecraft Monday. And think about how much funding was put into that, or how big in general it was, or how
Minecraft Monday really wasn't that like professional. It had its own issues. Definitely. Yeah.
And so I kind of just wanted to improve on those standards,
and that's where Matchless Mayhem came to be. So
and that's
Karen, sorry, my bad.
and that's how it just grew to what it is.
So how is that exactly? Okay, so the inspiration you say came from seeing other tournaments like Minecraft Monday. Was MCC a thing 3 years ago? It wasn't, was it? It came over just shortly after Minecraft Monday, right?
Yeah, it wasn't. And so you could easily see that Mayhem was very Minecraft Monday inspired. And interestingly enough, when MCC started being, oh, look at this is the new thing to look at, you could see that I instantly started taking inspiration. I really like this. What if I either try to nab this idea or nab it and twist it around a bit to make it more of my own thing? And that's where you could see all the inspiration.
So, with like that, how obviously it's been a big 3 years. 3 years for you, definitely. When exactly did you start seeing that Mayhem was making progress? Like, did it originally start as just a friendly tournament? How did you get players? How did you get people? And then we'll start with that, and then we'll get to the content creators. So let's talk about this first. How did you start getting players and people to like know about the tournament, play in the tournament? Did you have a lot of friends in the community? Did you have easy connections? Like,
funnily enough, it was the moment it switched off of 1.8. So we moved to like 1.15, and it got to.
Before we carry on, quickly, why did you do that? Why did you move on? Just sorry, I know I'm kind of modding questions, but why did you move away from 1.8?
More of a technical thing, really, because it was more of a, I can make a lot of quality of life changes, or these can look a lot better because you're
upgrading with Minecraft. Yeah.
And I think people just in general were starting to like the update and starting to accept 1.9 PvP, because obviously back then 1.9 was not popular at all, and it was not really the thing to be doing when it came to like PvP.
But the slow hit PvP is way better for tournaments. That's why I've said MCC flourishes, and all these other tournaments are hosted on 1.19 plus, because that type of PvP is what flourishes, right?
I think people realize that now, but I think
back
for that time, exactly. For that time, I don't think about that at all.
So you took a big risk moving away from 1.19. So now talking about the players and stuff like that. So I just wanted to know that. So back into how did you start getting people to play it? So 1.8, you had players, but it just wasn't that popular. But you said as soon as you moved on to 1.15?
1.15.
That's when you started seeing changes. So elaborate a little bit on that.
Good. And it started like turning into the event structure that it is like right now, where it's like play this amount of games, you might have a multiplier added to it, and you play a final game. And then it was the first time that we had teams of 4, or like structured teams. Mayhem was obviously quite a small event back then, and so it was actually only a 16-player event.
How many players is it now, sorry?
Right now, it's double. It's 32.
32,
so it's 8 teams of 4. 8 teams of 4. The first, like, big name that we had in Mayhem was this guy called Heroite, or I think at the time his name was Unextracted. He had maybe 12K on YouTube, and he brought in quite an audience, and people spread out from there.
Is that person still around or no?
No, sadly, he kind of just disappeared from YouTube.
That
just
tends to happen.
I no clue why. I couldn't tell you anything about it.
No, that
I
tends to
guess
happen.
yeah. If we fast forward like a good bit of time, the next like big creator that we were going to have in Mayhem was actually Just Dash and Erin in the same event. If you know who I am.
Yeah, I've heard the
Yeah.
name.
But sadly, Dash, being in quite an unfortunate time zone, had to sub out, and Erin, having a friend that subbed out, didn't have a friend to team with in the event. And fair enough, I respect wanting to sub out because of that, but he respectfully subbed out because of it, and it was just unfortunate timing. Yes.
But how did you get players though? Because I guess these kind of people like I've interacted a lot with now, like Browo, Bisexual Flowers, Biera, all these like Z Hopes. How did you get these players into the event? How did you make them find out about it?
They came in either through those creators that would luckily find out, or they had came in through another event community. So I couldn't name some, but I know that I've had a list of 30 players at once join from another event that existed, and they thought, oh, look at this new event. Maybe we can give this a try. Maybe we can tell all of our friends about this. And it was just a matter of, oh, these guys told their friend. Oh, now they're telling their friends. Oh, now this person knows about it. They're a creator. They're going to stream it. This audience likes it. And because Mayhem's a public event, it was a public event at the time. They thought, oh, I'm going to give this a go. I think Mayhem being a public event, especially back then, was quite a big reason for its success, because it was just a lot of people going, let me give this a go. I can just play this with my friends.
That had like a massive impact on like Mayhem's success. So who was the first, I guess other than Eagles Piggles, because that dude is in every tournament ever, who was the biggest like creator and what was the first tournament? Would it be the last one, or like did you have a big creator tournament beforehand that didn't sub out, like actually played?
Yeah. So in Mayhem 17,
what one are we on now?
We are on 20. The one that's just happened is 22.
Oh, but remember we're talking from May 6th.
Yeah.
So that'd be.
So the one that's just happened is Birthday Bonkers 23.
That's 23. Well, it wouldn't have just happened, 'cause this podcast has coming out before, but based on like just making it easier, we're talking as if today was May 6th, and it was before the tournament happened, kind of thing.
And by Birthday Bonkers 23, I mean Birthday Bonkers 2020.
Got you. But what number Mayhem is it? Including all like spin-offs and whatever.
Including all the non-canons as
non-canons, that's one.
The 26th event.
Okay, so we're going back to event 20 now. You said
we're going back to event 17 actually.
Okay.
Yeah. The same event, that Piggles joined actually. He had other friends that wanted to play. Their name are Toff and Chaos 20, who actually played in Mayhem 22, which is a very recent one. They were in the Block Wars Origin scene, and people started coming in from there because people in their chat, I would actually know who they are, and I'm thinking, oh, I know these people because they're also in the event scene. They're just not in
the event scene.
Yeah, they're not in the same circle of the event scene that I'm in.
Yeah.
And so they kind of just started flooding.
And then obviously Fire Breath Man, Wolfie, they found about. I know they're good friends with Piggles. Was that anything to do with Piggles, or did you contact them yourself?
So Mayhem 22 was the big breakthrough, because that's the moment that we finally went, okay, so Mayhem's it's going to start picking up momentum, so we're gonna close it off. We're gonna not make it fully public anymore, which we still do public events because we enjoy giving to the community, and it's why like people started joining in the first place. So I'm like quite grateful for that. So we still do public events like that. But Matchless was born because of that. Matchless was born because, okay, maybe there are too many people
trying to play.
We want to start like picking out some creators that might enjoy the event, show the event to the wider audience. And so that's the reason why it was the breakthrough, is because that's when people like Fire Breath Man and Greninja started playing. So yeah.
So Greninja I actually know from Bedrock Edition. I can't remember why we interacted. Yeah, I don't think let me quickly pull up my first interaction with Greninja. I don't think they were a Bedrock Edition player. Oh no, never mind. Okay, so I used to be in this like Bedrock content creator Discord. I left it because it's yeah, I just didn't want to be there anymore. There's not really any problems with it. I just didn't like it. And they sent me a friend request there because I think they saw that I was a Twitch streamer, and I added them on Discord, and then and then I joined their Twitch chat like maybe about 2-3 weeks back. I didn't remember who I was until I sat down. I was like, oh yeah, I know you actually. I recognize your name. So we never really interacted. I just know them from like quite a while ago. The Cinnamon tournament was pretty cool. So with the whole like breakthrough thing. Obviously, I know I said I wasn't going to talk about your age on a podcast, but can we bring it up? Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're 16, right?
I am 16.
So that means you started Minecraft Mayhem when you were 13 years of age.
Yep. Quite crazy.
How? You're a 16-year-old running this kind of tournament. How?
I don't know either, because especially now when I'm taking it crazily seriously and I'm trying to build on the momentum that I've already built, I'm pulling a lot of all-nighters, I'm doing a lot of grinding, and on top of that I'm keeping up with school because obviously I'm 16, so
GCSEs,
I'm like
etc.
gonna
Yeah.
have GCSE exams. It's quite difficult to balance them, but I'm pulling through, and it's not like my grades are dropping, so parents are quite happy with me doing whatever.
So your parents know about the event,
They know about it.
and
I
they
will
support
come
you
home
being
from-
on your.
I will come home from school, and on the TV, my parents will be playing Mayhem VOD. I will see a Piggles video.
Gee, so they're like fully supportive of you being on your PC and stuff all the time, huh? 'Cause that's like for me when I was younger. It's a bit different now because I pay housekeeping and stuff like that. But when I was younger, around about your age, especially during GCSEs, I had I wasn't allowed to be on the computer all the time. So to have that kind of like, I mean, when I started YouTube, I started YouTube once. So I'm 19 years of age. I turned 20 on May 4th. That's why I'm going to Ireland for the weekend. What's called? So when I finished my GCSEs, because I got bullied quite bad in secondary school, that's when I started YouTube. So I waited until I left, and then ever since then, it's kind of been on a bit of an uphill, slow now. Started off quite strong when I did tutorials, but like with that, like my parents were supportive, but I wasn't allowed to just sit in front of my computer all the time. So they like no, because I mean I don't know if this is this is something you can say you don't want to answer. Like Mayhem, you're not earning any money from it, are you?
No.
Does it cost? It costs to like fund the server, doesn't it?
It's quite crazy to fund. But actually, recently, we've partnered with called Ington, who are a server provider, and we're very grateful. They provide a really good server for us, really reasonable price, and so it's a lot more manageable.
But with that, you're still at like, so with me for example, and this is what people don't really know, so this is once again podcast exclusive, because I haven't really talked about this anywhere else, is that like I pay for thumbnails to be made. I sometimes pay to only recently have I started earning money, like good money from YouTube and Twitch again. I've been at like, I've never made a profit from YouTube ever. I've been doing it for 3 years because I pay for stuff to be done. So with that, like, but then there's also the thing is I'm still earning an income, I'm just not making a profit, but you're not earning an income. So what motivates you to keep doing that, especially knowing that like it's costing money? Is it a chance to like, I mean, I guess it's really good experience. Like, do you have any clue what you want to like be when you're older?
Well, first of all, the motivation is just, I guess, the support that I get back, and
this is really wholesome. I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, and even if something will be shaky, I get really positive feedback, and I get just, even if it's negative feedback, I'll act on it and we'll move past it, and people will be like, good job. And I like it when people are like that, and my parents like it when I'm like that, because actually, as considering I like code the event and whatever, I'm doing, for example, computer science. This is kind of going to help me a good bit with it, especially if I like start getting into like JavaScript.
But I gotta say, you're quite intelligent, like with the whole coding and script. Obviously, you're not the only one who does it, but like 16 years of age, running an entire tournament, coding, you're running all these events. Like, you know, you're gonna be quite experienced when you go to like college, or if like you might be self-employed, or if you get a job, like you have this experience, which is good. But how long? This is, I guess, a bit of a darker question. I'm not really actually. I'm kind of just hyping up to be nothing. How long do you reckon Mayhem will last? Like, do you think you'll carry on in the future? Because I don't think people are going to get bored of it.
As long as possible.
So you want to keep it going? Like, you're fully motivated for it?
Keep it going. I have no thoughts of when it will end. Genuinely, I just want to keep it going, see how far it gets. If it keeps going, we keep going. Yeah.
I guess to keep it on this, because I would have done a transition in the edit now, because I guess we're talking about the future of Minecraft Mayhem. So enough about the past, unless you've got anything else to say about it. Or if not, then we'll
yeah.
move into the future.
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll move into the talking about the future of the podcast. Future of the tournament then. So I would have done a transition when I asked you the question about the previous question. But let's get more talking into about the future of Minecraft Mayhem. So you obviously want to keep it going for as long as possible, as long as you can. Do you think it can be up? Okay, first thing. All right. So you said you enjoy it being like a Euro tournament and stuff like that, and you know it's understandable, it's real. But let's be real for a second.
Yep.
With the content creators joining, and it's gonna sound really egotistical, like myself, with like a follower and subscribe stuff like that. It sounds really egotistical, but then you also want to get like Firebreath, Wolfie, Piggles. If like they all start playing in tournaments and you start getting this like big like surge of growth, like do you think it will continue to be what it is with like a viewer based tournament, or will it become something a bit like Origins where like people who have a bit of a following can play only? Like because right now once again, I'm gonna say their names, Bier and Bro. They won't take offense to it, I hope, because I'm good friends with them. But they don't exactly have followings, do they? They're just players, but they play in the tournament.
Yeah.
So like with that, will Mayhem stay that way, or will it become a bit like Block Wars? Do you think? Because you can stay humble and say, oh yeah, like I really want to keep it for the viewers, but let's be real. Once you start getting larger content creators who want to consistently play, it's not going to stay that way.
Yeah. Realistically, I wouldn't be surprised if it went on that path, but I'm really down to try let as many unique people as possible, whether they're creator or not, which is why, especially at the moment, the whole system of, okay, for regular events we've got matchless and we've got the set people that we want, and we can match people up like that. And for non-cannons or more fun events, or like every so often events, we can do public signups and we can dot people from there. But in the future, if it does get to the situation where it's like this is really overwhelming, then I will accept defeat, and we might do something that's like Origins, but who knows, I guess, because I do realistically want to keep doing public events like this. So yeah.
With that as well, then I'm putting you on the spot here, so be
Okay.
prepared. When do you reckon I'll get to play in Minecraft Mayhem? And I guess like there's the possibility of me playing in the Pride event. That's been made public, right? The Pride event, it has, yeah. Like I've talked about it on stream, so it's public whether you like it or not now. So is that which I might get to play in. But that's also non-canon. So do you reckon, not guaranteed, I don't expect to be guaranteed, but do you reckon I have a chance of getting into the July one as well, or no?
So yes, and I'm not saying this just because you're here, but the reason why is because you'd unironically like match well with a good lot of people, and you'd probably not go, oh, I've got an issue with 40 of the people in the matchless server, 40 of the people that normally play the event. Like I think a lot of people would like you as teammates. You'd be really good content, great as a person to team with. Aww. And I think you'd be really good light to the event. So I would not be surprised if you played really soon.
Well, I mean, I'm definitely not in the first May one, because I'm on holiday. Definitely not in the second one, because that's All Stars, which you've leaked publicly, so I'm allowed to talk about.
Yeah.
So that's All Stars. So I'm not going to be playing that because of obviously I've never played in a tournament, let alone won it. So there's a possibility of the Pride event, and then obviously tournaments after that. Because essentially my thing is like I want to get more into the community, and I said this on stream. I said as soon as I get because I know we're talking about your tournament, I'm going to bring it up though. I hope you don't mind. Minecraft Mania. I've applied for the one that's happening on May 20th, I believe it is. So there's that. But I've said it before. I said it as soon as I get into a tournament that's like Minecraft Mania or like Minecraft Mayhem. Preferably Minecraft Mayhem or Block Wars. Like I just need to play an event. I need to make a name for myself, and I gotta be entertaining. And I'm not saying I'm using Minecraft Mayhem as a stepping stone, so don't take it that way. But if I entertain in Minecraft Mayhem, I do well and I have a fun time. That's also a possibility to get into Block Wars Origins. And then so it's like I said, not as a stepping stone, I still want to play in Minecraft Mayhem anyways, because it's a sick tournament. I've non-stop been talking about it on stream. But there's that. So have you got any leaks that you want to talk about on stream? Any new game modes? Any new updates to the Minecraft Mayhem? Anything you might want to say podcast exclusive? I guess if anyone listens and they say it publicly, it's a different story. But you get what I mean.
This is gonna be very brief or broad.
You don't have to say loads. You don't have to say anything at all.
Yeah. But be prepared, because there are big changes that are coming soon. There are big changes that are coming soon. Some that have been quite requested, and some that have been some that will be quite unexpected. I don't think I'm going to say further than that, just so I don't.
That's
keep
fine.
Going.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not trying to trick you. It's just as much as you want to say.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you the open platform. So, would you say it's exciting?
Very, very. Like, people, they will be out their seats when they see the update videos for some of the changes that will be coming months.
Can you at least say, or what month? Possibly.
No, I can't say particularly because
I guess because you maybe don't know yourself as well, because like issues arising and stuff. Yeah, fair enough. What about content creators? Is there any big content creators that you think you might be able to get into the tournament soon?
I've seen.
You don't have to say names. I'm just saying, do you have like with like Fire Breath Man esque? Do you have someone that you might be like, yeah, they might be playing in Pride, they might be playing in the next Talent event?
I don't know if you watch them.
Other than me,
I'm quite a big guy into lifesteal SMP actually, and for example, people like Red Dunes have been responding to the Twitter, liking some of the tweets, and I'm thinking, maybe I should DM this guy, even though he's ghosted me once before. Well, no, he's left me undelivered, not Red, but but I might try getting to him. So, and more lifestyle people too. I think the content they do is great.
I mean, to get Anne Venom on the podcast, I emailed him.
Oh, really?
I emailed him and he responded. He said, "Yeah, I'd love to see." He looked at because I remember him saying, and I think he said it on the podcast as well, so it's fine to say. He said he had a look into the podcast, so it was quite professional, so everything was done well, and that's why he wanted on. So maybe you could try your luck at emailing Anne Venom. If it works for me, it might work for you as well. And if you get him in, rig it so I'm on a team with him, because I have him added on Discord. That's my biggest flex.
I'd ironically be down to do that.
I mean, if I get him, if it works and he gets in Minecraft Mayhem, you owe me, okay? Alright.
Yeah,
So
honestly.
Also, you've kind of got my hopes up now. So if you let me down and I don't get to play in the Minecraft Mayhem, I'm going to be a bit sad.
Goodness me.
You have done that now. No. Not to be on a team without Venom. I mean, got my hopes up about playing in Minecraft Mayhem in general.
Oh, I've got to deliver now. What can I say?
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess with that said, let's move into the Twitter questions. So you actually got quite a few response. Some of them serious, some of them a bit silly. Because of that, I've decided to go with the serious ones, because they actually, in the nicest way possible, they add something to the podcast. So we have 3 questions here. You don't have to go into too much depth with them, but obviously if you answered them to the best of your ability, it'd be appreciated. So the first one is from AJX, and fun fact about AJX, hear their name everywhere, never interacted with them. So AJX, if you're watching this, if you are watching this podcast, which if you ask the question, I hope you have, I want to interact with you, okay? My name is InsideOrbits, #0005 on Discord, and I stream on Twitch almost daily. I'm making an effort to promote this in every single podcast. I'm sorry, I'm using you to promote this right now, Shalom. Follow my Twitch. If you enjoy the podcast and you've listened this far and you enjoy me just having a conversation or just talking, I do this almost daily for like 3 hours on stream. I literally streamed for 3 hours earlier before recording the podcast with Shalom. So please stop by. Anyways, okay, so from AJX, where do you want to take MC Mayhem in the next year?
I want Mayhem to just reach out to more creators, basically build off of the momentum that's already been built off of the past 3 months, which has been its most successful months. I've got this summer coming up, for example, and although I'm like in a really, really tight mix of school and Mayhem, once summer comes around, I can work really hard on some perhaps the changes that people have been requesting for quite a while, or getting some of the people that have been really requested in the event, and designing some really fun teams or game ideas and whatever for Mayhem.
Especially with GCSEs, you finish it early as well, don't you? You finish school early.
Yeah.
Do you reckon you might face a bit of burnout during summer? Because like right now, I find it a lot easier to do content when I'm doing work and then like working on content. So do you think you will, or is it more just hoping you don't?
Not at all.
Oh, you just don't think you will at all?
I've not felt, in the 3 years that I've done Mayhem for, I've never felt burnout. I don't think I will. I will be staying up up till 2 a.m. all the time.
Don't
for this
be
event.
silly with it. Don't be silly with it, okay? You need to look after your health as well, okay?
Of
You're
course.
still young. Be careful, okay? But fair enough. It's nice to see you're passionate about it. Because I'm passionate about streaming. I'd love to stream all the time if I could. I guess that's the same. It's just YouTube videos. There's a little bit. As you know yourself, doing a bit of YouTube, it becomes a bit harder to do. So any other plans, or have you said it all there?
I've said it all. Said it all.
So the next question is from Kenzie. So I was meant to ask this earlier, but because we transitioned into the future of Minecraft Mayhem, I didn't get to ask. So this isn't from Kenzie. Well, I'll ask Kenzie's question in a second. So in regards to Kenzie, I also see that they're a organizer. Are you the sole owner of Minecraft Mayhem, or are they up there with you, kind of thing?
So I'm the guy in the main control. So I am on the top of the hierarchy. I am the owner. Kenzie's is project manager, and the two other names that you've heard of that you might be thinking of when you say this is Super Neon 4IK and Granulated Garlic.
So we had this joke before. I've never heard of Super Neon. I've heard of Granulated Garlic and Kenzie. So no, but that's a common meme apparently. According to Kenzie, so apparently that's like a common thing that the one in the dark, you know?
He's gonna be dying so hard when watching. But yeah, Neon is like he does a lot of the plugin coding and like a lot of development for the event.
What does Garlic do?
Garlic is community manager, and he is also testing manager. So he manages all tests. He manages the players for them and like the applications. So yeah.
And what do you say Kenzie's was again? Sorry.
Kenzie's is project manager.
What is that?
So what that means is that he tells, okay, builders, for the next so on, you're gonna work on this. We're gonna aim for this date. We're gonna work on this. This is an idea that I have for a game, for example, or for a map. Let's potentially do it like this, like this, like this.
And these are all volunteers, including the builders.
Yeah.
Mental.
It's fully a passion project. No pay at all.
It's really nice actually that people are like dedicated to it as well. Okay, so actually on to Kenzie's question now then. In your opinion, what are the most significant challenges facing Minecraft events today, and what can we do to address them?
I think expectations, I guess, because although we'll make we can make really amazing changes, but whatever happens, not everyone is going to be happy with the change, or potentially another event have beaten me to doing whatever idea, and maybe just because of that it won't be as good of a look, which actually I've experienced that quite a bit, which is quite hilarious. It gets a bit frustrating, and it gets a bit like daunting when you think of it like that, but I try to move past it, and the way I try to battle it is just, if I work on the feedback, there probably won't be as much back and forth in the event of why is this like this, or why can't this be like this because it's like this in another event. So yeah,
I guess that's the problem with there being so many Minecraft tournaments. As cool as it is, it also like leads to a lot of overlapping and a lot of this event has already done this, or this event is copying you, or they're all just kind of doing their own thing and just trying to grow as events, I guess, right? And so that's the problem, and addressing them, stuff like that. So the final question, and this one you don't have to go too much into depth with, is from TSG is Live. So TSG is a Minecraft Bedrock YouTuber, and they host a tournament on a server called Hive. Hive, of course you do. They host there's multiple tournaments hosted on that server. I actually hosted 2 tournaments one time on that server, and they both popped off, which is cool. But yeah, so they run that. So they said, any tips for people doing tournaments, and what's your motivation to run the event? So you've already talked about your motivation, so you don't need to go dwell into that, because I don't want you to like sound like a parrot. But what about tips for doing tournaments?
When it comes to tips, I think, and I realized this maybe 5 or 6 months ago, don't try to do things on your own. Get help with doing things. It's a lot easier when you have people behind you to help, and there's a lot less pressure on you, and you think, oh, if think of it as like 2 mines, 5 mines are gonna be a lot better than you working on such a big project. Because no matter what the event is, even if it's on another server that's completely ready for you to work on, it's an event is a big project. An event is a big project. So don't try to overwhelm yourself in that sense.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, when I hosted my tournament, I kind of did all the planning and stuff, and I guess I got lucky with it. But I had people making the design and stuff, and then I co-commentated with Potato Pie on both of them. So I guess I got lucky in that sense. But yeah, I kind of planned all on my own. But fair enough. Well, Shalom.
You kind of only realize afterwards that there's so much that has to go into making.
Well, mine were both charity based. The first one I raised over $500, and the second one I raised over £100. So it wasn't too bad.
Awesome.
So yeah, all by myself as well. Well, I mean, I put £100 towards both. But like other YouTubers contributed to the first one, and then the second one was just any like subs and stuff I earned during the stream.
Yeah, cool.
So, anyway, Shalom. Sadly, podcast has to come to an end.
Oh.
Before we end, though, would you like to promote yourself and your tournament? But I know we've been talking about it, but where we can find it, all that kind of jazz.
If you want more information about Minecraft Mayhem, you can look on the Twitter. The handle is InsideMC Mayhem. There you can find event dates, the link to the Discord, which is where most announcements happen, and you can see team announcements, or you can find links to update videos and VODs and other things if you're interested in that. If you want to know a bit more about me, then you can look at my YouTube channel, ShalomNG, or Shalomanon is the second channel. And I obviously do Twitch, which is where the admin streams happen. Twitch.tv/ShalomNG. Yeah!
And your Twitter?
And yes, my Twitter handle is Shalomanon.
There we go. And obviously, you probably know who I am, but for anyone who's listening to this for the Minecraft Mayhem tournament, I might as well use this to like plug myself as well. I do Twitch, stream almost daily, Insane Orbit. I'm hopefully going to be in a future Minecraft Mayhem tournament. And I'd like to say, like, we've interacted a decent amount. I mean, we've streamed together. We got to say we're quite close, we're cool with each other. So that's always good. But yeah, so that's all I really care about plugging is my Twitch. So, and if you're listening to this and you want to invite me to your tournament, you're more than welcome to. But Minecraft Mayhem is still my go. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Thank you, Shalom, for being an amazing guest, especially considering this is your first ever podcast. You did all right.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, awesome.
This has been the Inside Minecraft podcast. Everything you need to know about Minecraft Mayhem, give or take. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe, and I will see you next time. Peace.